Hi, this is Father Bill, friend of Dr. Bob's here in Austin, Texas. Welcome back, and hope everybody had a happy and sane New Year. We're doing our series on the 12 steps. We're right in the middle of step one, and we're kind of asking the question: what is it that the pioneers can help us in understanding what lays behind these 12 steps? Are there some things about the history that can be helpful to us in getting a deeper appreciation and helping us work them better? So last time we spoke about step one, powerlessness. That Silkworth had a theory, Dr. Silkworth had a theory that alcoholics are allergic to alcohol, and that they are powerless over it, in the sense that once we take alcohol into our systems, here's what's going to happen. It's going to trigger craving, and that leads to disaster in one form or another. But there's another word that's key in step one, and that's the word unmanageable. And I don't know about you, but that was kind of a funny word when I first heard it. I'm an alcoholic. I got drunk, drugs, in trouble, all that kind of stuff. And I can tell you this: I never woke up in some strange place and said, "My God, my life is really unmanageable." I never used that word, and I was curious as to where that word came from. And a little research from the history will tell you that it was a pretty popular word in Oxford group circles. And that's where Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob first got sober, was within the Oxford group. And the word itself, I think, came from a case in India, of all places. The Oxford group team was in India, and they were actually up in the Himalaya mountains, and there was a school that they were visiting up there. And the school had a student by the name of Victor, and Victor was always getting himself in trouble. The people in charge were getting ready to kick him out, saying he was incorrigible. And as a last gap measure, they asked the Oxford group team, would they spend a little time with Victor and see if they could possibly help him. And so they did, and they shared their stuff with Victor, how they had gotten in trouble, how life had treated them badly, and yet how they had overcome through spiritual practices. Victor quickly got down on his knees and said a prayer. And he said, "Lord, I cannot manage my life. Manage it for me." And the Oxford group people, they liked that. Victor changed as a result of that prayer. And so they started using it. And everybody in the world has problems. Alcoholics and addicts are not the only ones who have problems. And they're problems that don't lend themselves to solutions by ourselves. That we need help. We need help from a source outside of self to help us. And that is what Victor found. That's what Bill Wilson found. That's what many of us found. So when Wilson's writing the 12 steps, I can imagine him saying, I want to take this theory of Dr. Silkworth and I want to put it into simple forms that alcoholics can understand. Okay, powerless over alcohol, allergy of the body, obsession of the mind, that I've tried stopping drinking 100 times and it doesn't work. I cannot manage my life in this area. God, please help me. Very different. Most people understand unmanageability to be the number of divorces they've had, the number of DWIs they've had, the financial problems they've had, and I believe that is to totally miss the understanding of unmanageability. Our lives are not unmanageable when we're drinking. They are a mess when we're drinking. They are unmanageable when we're not drinking, and that's totally different. That there is this obsession that waits, I believe, in the unconscious, waiting for me to take my guard down and to take my relationship with God down. And then when I'm relying on myself, reach up and grab me once again. Our lives have become unmanageable. Take that to heart. If you get nothing else out of this series, I think if you will meditate and pray on that one, we will have done some good work here. So God bless. Keep coming back. And as I said last week, we have a series of questions at the end of this video to link to maybe help you get a deeper understanding of that. Take good care. Bye-bye.